You are Team Autumn for me. I'm gonna walk you through why I am totally Team Summer. Here's an autumn color, here's a summer color against me. I guarantee you, I've tried to create equal conditions for these pictures, and my face, I mentally just made sure it was in a fully rested state. And perhaps if you don't believe me as you watch this video, perhaps just focus on my skin. Not my positioning of my head or whatever. Cover my eyes if you can't explicitly focus on my skin, because everything, 6 of the 7 checks of color analysis have nothing to do with the eyes and all about the skin and jawline. I will also say that when I go into makeup stores, they've never told me to choose a cool undertone foundation, but my undertone is not warm. I'm a billion times sure of that. For some reasons, whoever's telling me or whatever's telling me I'm warm isn't actually looking at my underlying coloring. I will also say I'm a licensed hairstylist, so I've worked in the hair salon setting, and I heard things all the time in that setting that conflicted with color analysis. A great example would be when you go gray, the perfect color is always to go to some sort of blonde, perhaps. And I always say, you know, think back to Queen Elizabeth. Was Queen Elizabeth's natural hair color post-puberty ever in the blonde range? Picture her coloring her hair blonde. From a color analysis perspective, that would not be optimal for her vibrancy. I wear warm foundation, and I have videos in my content, you can go back to view those, of me wearing a warm foundation. My skin goes muddy, patchy, kind of like what's illustrated here on my skin. What's illustrated here is shadowed skin and sallowed skin. And I'm going to get into the definition of what sallowed skin means shortly. But over here, my skin is brighter. My, let's call it, patchiness of my skin is more smoothed out. Look at my jawline, it's more lifted. My skin looks healthier over here. Trust me. As you age, you care about those things. I call color analysis a facelift without the surgery. By the way, excluding my glasses right now, this is the color analysis look. So when somebody's color analyzed, their natural coloring needs to be fully isolated. If your hair is colored, this is what you do. And my hair is 100% natural. I say that to people who are newer or are developing their color analysis eyes, because I personally like to see and do the natural hair color check for the harmony. For some reason, I find people currently developing their color analysis eyes have a tendency to want to match to their hair color, and that's not color analysis. And when I say that, I meant match to their colored hair color. Color analysis professionals trained in accredited color analysis training programs are taught color theory, and it's just how color theory works. When colors are matched to your underlying coloring, which is the color underneath your surface coloring, that's when smoother skin, bright skin, etc., that's when that state is achieved. When you're matching to your surface coloring, things like this happen. Surface coloring as well is also a moving target in life. It changes with burns, tans, health conditions, hormones, like a bunch of stuff can change surface coloring, where underlying coloring that color analysis focuses on remains constant in life, because it ultimately comes from your internal biology, which is the source for all your external underlying quality of coloring, and ultimately comes from your genetics. I sometimes joke, for your color analysis results to change, your biological family would need to change. So once you get color analyzed and it's a correct result in the color analysis system you've chosen to be analyzed within, it won't change in your lifetime. Color analysis is a one-time event. In theory, if somebody told me I was an autumn and one day, perhaps I had a tan one day, and someone thought that the autumn colors worked with my surface coloring, in theory, when that tan disappears, perhaps another color set would look better on me. And that's not how color analysis works in terms of what color analysis professionals do, trained in accredited training programs. It's a one-time event. Here's how ChatGPT defines sallowed skin, and then it says that it can give the impression of fatigue, illness, or lack of vitality. In color analysis, a person with cool undertones like me might look sallow in warm tone clothing, making their skin appear dull, yellowish, or tired. And so I'll just extend that to color analysis about hair, makeup, clothing, and accessories. So if people choose, or for instance, if I choose to wear warm undertone colors, hair, makeup, clothing, accessory wise, it will create this sallowed effect. Looking at this, can you see that my skin is more shadowed? I look tired. I don't look refreshed. My face looks bloated, frankly, and I look more uplifted over here. Energized, perhaps, would be a good word to use here. In color analysis, we want to have people look the best that they can be at any given time. I'm no spring chicken. This is what my skin looks like. Looking at these picture sets, I would want to be over here to give out my best. This is not my best. We'll also add why muted autumn is not even discussed in this video. We don't even need to go there because color analysis, the system I do, is a structured process. And in step 2, the home seasons are looked at: winter, summer, spring, autumn. And so summer passes the checks of color analysis. So the summer streams are looked at in step 3. There's no reason to go to the autumn streams. If you are team muted autumn for me, these would be the color ranges, and no, my skin goes shadowed. I don't want to introduce autumn in my coloring. The muted palette is the palette that rests between autumn and summer, and there's no way I want to introduce sallowness and shadowing and this effect into any of my coloring. I'm team summer for me. So are other color analysis professionals I know, including the training body that has trained many color analysis professionals globally for decades. And I'm with them for Team Summer for JB.